in welcoming Greg Lindenstedt.
You don't hear me. Does my mic work? Does it pick it up? No?
I don't think your mic works.
Oh. There, how's that? No?
Yeah.
There. If I clip this to my nose. There. Better?
Yeah.
Okay, what I'm going to be talking about is sales and marketing alignment, which is something that isn't a new phenomenon. It isn't a new malaise that affects organizations that are trying to grow their business and grow their business profitably. What I'm going to be talking about is that alignment in an inbound world. And it's probably become more visible to those of us working in inbound that alignment is an issue. And so what I'm going to take you through, the intention is to give a kind of a high altitude look at what it means to build alignment and a structure to do that. What I'm going to rely on is questions from you, so that I don't spend 35 minutes talking at you about this. I'd rather talk with you about it, because each of you is faced with a different situation. Alignment is complicated. It's really complicated. It's not cookie cutter, the solution. And so it takes work and thought and human understanding, because you're talking about forming alignment between two parties that have historically sometimes thought of themselves as having competing interests. And that's not good, because they're supposed to be working on the same side. And so that's what we're going to attack today. So, what is the current state of relations between sales and marketing? In a lot of companies, it's they're putting on the gloves, or they're taking the gloves off because they want to do some real damage. But the reality is, there's finger pointing. There's lots and lots of finger pointing that goes on, and it especially goes on in environments where goals aren't being met, or they're not being met in a way that people are thrilled. And so the head of sales gets a call, and the call is, what's going on? We're not hitting our numbers. We haven't brought on as many new customers as we had as a goal, and so what's going on? And one of the first things that the head of sales may say is, I have no leads. What am I supposed to do? I've got no leads. Why don't you talk to the marketing manager? Because our marketing sucks. Or I don't have tools. Or the product and service package that we're selling is so out of touch with the world that I'm selling in. How could anybody succeed? So that's one of the things that happens. And then that person goes to the marketing manager, director of marketing, and what do they say? They say, oh, I've got the research. I'm in touch with our customers. Look, I did this trend study. I know where the world is going. I know our technology is right. It's those damn sales reps. They just can't sell. They can't close. And they won't talk to me. They think they own the customer. They don't give me access. So I don't even know why we're failing, because they won't talk to me. So in a lot of businesses, you have this combative relationship, if it is a relationship. Sometimes it's just a fractured relationship. And we get things like this, okay? Sales is arrogant and dumb, and marketing is out of touch and dumb. They're not working together. They're not working together to solve the challenges. And beyond that, they're not thinking about each other as they could and should. And that is as 360-degree customers of each other. And that's really when you start thinking about alignment, and alignment in an organization where people are working toward a common goal and joining forces to succeed. It's that marketing looks at sales as their customer. And when you look at them as your customer, you start to treat them differently. You start to activate plans differently. You build plans differently because, well, if you're building a plan for a customer, what's the first thing that you should do? Anybody? What's the first thing that you should do if you're building a plan for a customer? Research. Where would you start your research? With the customer. You talk to the customer. And so if sales is a customer of marketing, the first step is talking to sales and understanding what their view of the world is, what their view of the challenges is. But here's a real new concept. Marketing as a customer of sales. If marketing is a customer of sales, what does sales owe marketing? Any ideas? What do you think sales could do for marketing?
Data?
Data? Yeah, sure. Behavioral data. Like, what's happening when we present this to this type of customer? Or how long is it taking this type of customer to work through their organization? You think about, and anybody who's involved deeply in, primarily from my perspective, inbound marketing, we talk a lot about the buyer journey. And the buyer journey is this, in a lot of ways, it's theoretical, but it's very practical. And if you think about who should understand the buyer journey better than anybody, people on the front line. They should understand what the buyer journey has been and how the buyer journey is changing. And marketing is often surprised but enriched when they find out from their salespeople that things are different. Things are way different on that buyer journey. And they're different for a lot of reasons. They're different because buyers are waiting. Buyers have shortened their horizons. Salespeople think that the buy cycle is this long. The real buy cycle has gotten shorter. It's gotten shorter because buyers in today's world believe that if they want something, they can place a call on Friday and they'll have it on Monday. And it'll be set up, whatever it is. People nodding, yeah, that's we're in an immediate gratification society today, and buyers are behaving that way. The seller thinks it's an 18-month buy cycle, and the buyer really knows, no, it's 4 weeks. I think I can get absolutely, if I'm going to buy capital equipment, if I'm going to buy custom software, whatever I'm going to buy, I can get it in 4 weeks. And I'll decide at that point. So that conversation about the buyer journey is something that the salesperson can help with. And marketing is going to benefit from learning about what's happening. Why is the salesman frustrated? What are they running into? So you've got to do away with those attitudes of they're out of touch, they're arrogant. No, you both got challenges. Both sides have challenges, and they absolutely have to have commitment from their counterpart to have any chance of having alignment that serves the business goals. So, we suggest counseling? No, probably not. But we've actually been involved in some, I guess you'd call it a form of intervention, where you ask the same question of two parties and you have them separated. You don't have them in the room together, but you ask them the same question. You know, questions like, where are the best leads coming from? I love asking that question early in the process of where are the best leads coming from? Because in a business that there's alignment, dysfunction, a sales rep will often say, well, I'm generating the best leads. I'm picking up the phone, I'm using my network, I'm talking to customers who've changed businesses, it's old school. And if you ask marketing, where's the best leads? are coming from, they often don't know. I'm a marketing guy, it's embarrassing to me to see this happen, but it happens. Marketing people often don't know. If you ask a lot of salespeople today, what do they need from marketing? The unfortunate answer that a lot of them will give you is, I need a new collateral system. What I got is it's 18 months old. As soon as it goes to press, it's obsolete. Or they'll say, our website is a disaster. It's just a disaster. So if you ask them what they need from marketing, they'll think about tactics and tools. You'll almost never hear, unless they've been enlightened, you'll almost never hear a salesperson say, I need high-quality leads for marketing. Because unfortunately, they don't believe that's a possibility. They don't believe that's in the realm of what they should be asking marketing for, is high-quality leads. If you ask them, do you have enough high-quality leads? They'll almost certainly say, no. That's why we're talking to you. If we had enough leads, I'd be out selling. But we don't have enough leads, so I'm talking to you about it. And we're not happy. We're not going to hit our numbers. And then if you ask, well, what's marketing doing? I don't know. They're working on a new website, or they're working on a collateral system, or they're working on something. I don't know what they're working on. Well, that's terrible dysfunction. So we got a failure to communicate, a failure to connect, a failure to get very, very tangible in the connection and set up expectations of what each party commits and owes to the other. Right down to things like ground rules. So it's a failure to communicate at the most basic level. That only happens if you create the expectation that there is a better way to do it. You first have to create the expectation that it's possible, that it's valuable, and that in doing so, you create a better company, a better plan, and better results ultimately. So, that's why service level agreements, which is what I'm talking about today, that's why service level agreements are so important. Which of you, as a representative of a company, has a formal, defined, signed service level agreement in place between your marketing and sales function, even if you are both the marketing and sales function? Show of hands, anybody? Okay. It's part of the problem. Because if you don't have a discipline-specific, well-articulated agreement, then it's like the Alice in Wonderland quote, if you don't know where you're going, any path will be yours. Is that the right quote, Mark? No? Close. If you don't know where you're going, any path will do. And if you don't know, sales doesn't know what it should expect from marketing, and marketing doesn't know what kind of expectations they should have of sales, then whatever you do is fine with either side, and you're tripping your way to failure. So, what an SLA is, it's a contract. Think of it as a contract. It's nothing less than that between sales and marketing. You think about what's got to be covered. It's how is marketing responsible to sales? So it's the director of marketing standing up in front of, if it's 2 salespeople or 100 of them, standing up in front of them and saying, this is what I'm going to do for you that's going to affect your ability to make your numbers. Because salespeople, if nothing else, they are driven by numbers. They are driven by hitting their goals. Salespeople are hired to be goal-driven. And marketing has to stand up in front of them and explain in specific terms, this is my responsibility to you that's going to help you make your numbers. But then here's a new concept, sales responsibility to marketing. So it's the head of sales, backed by their region managers, all the people that matter in the room, saying, This is my commitment. This is our commitment as an organization to the marketing function. This is what we're going to do with what you've provided to us. And on top of that, this is what we're going to bring back to you. That's going to make your next cycle, our next business cycle, more valuable. And the next one after that, more valuable. Because we understand that we're a part of your feedback loop. We understand that, what you're doing is organic and dynamic in terms of attracting, converting, nurturing leads. And that you need my help to execute that. And that we play a role in having that happen to the highest performance level possible. And then finally, it's a commitment to collaborate and to be accountable to one another. To recognize that I've got a scoreboard. If I'm marketing, I've got a scoreboard. I'm going to report to you, sales. I'm going to show you how I'm doing. And I'm going to explain what's going on. And so you're going to be able to see if I'm over-delivering, under-delivering. You're going to hear my course corrections. You're my partner. So I'm going to open up and I'm going to tell you the truth. And then it's to be accountable in both ways. It tells marketing that, okay, I'm the head of sales. I'm going to tell you exactly what we're doing with every lead that you provide me. I'm going to tell you what we did. I'm going to tell you about the challenges we ran into. I'm going to tell you about the stages we're in as we work a lead. I'm going to tell you what kind of business I expect from it. I'm going to give you all the data you believe you need to manage that process better so that the next cycle is more valuable. So we all do better as a team because you've learned from my feedback and my accountability too.
Great.
Yeah.
Hey, do you have any white label SLAs as examples that you might be able to download?
Not today,
Okay.
but think that's a great idea.
We need one.
Yeah.
I'm sure lots of
You know
people
what?
here do.
I shouldn't say this in front of a group. I'll share our SLA.
Okay.
Because we drink our own Kool-Aid. That's one of the, in everything that you're hearing about today, that Stream and Weiner Group, we're the two agencies represented here. We drink our own Kool-Aid every day. And one of the things that Nicole, she's our right there, the card lady, with she's our director of business development. So she and our marketing manager built our SLA, and it was a long, painful, arduous process. But in the end, it's a negotiated agreement between the two of them on what each is going to do and what it means and how it's going to benefit us. So the not so simple steps. First, determining marketing goals. I can't believe that I could put in 3 words something that's so incredibly difficult, because that is a really difficult step. There's all sorts of work that you peel back the layers of the onion, and it just gets more complicated the deeper you dig. It's very complicated. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a couple of slides. You negotiate the sales protocols, and by sales protocols, it's what does sales do with a lead? And if you think about that, how complicated is that? You're talking about mapping out and getting human sales professionals to agree, this is what we're going to do, and on this timeline, and then we're going to repeat, and then we're going to cycle back for a learning, and then we're going to do this, and we're going to use these different tactical possibilities, and within that, within the protocols, we're going to have some if-thens. If this happens, we will proceed here. If this happens, we'll go here. If this happens, we'll double back to marketing, and we'll do some brainstorming. So the protocols are very complicated because you have to bring out on the table all of the possibilities. So you got to get your salespeople to say, tell us about your take on a buyer journey. What are all the different things that happen before somebody buys? From the moment you've recognized that they're interested to they actually buy. And we're talking about this. This could be a book. Chad, it could be a book. And then you've got to set up reporting because you've got to have an agreement between the parties on what level of detail you're going to share with each other. Because if you want collaboration, it's sharing. And it starts with telling the truth. Marketing telling the truth. How's our traffic? How many leads are we converting? What's the quality of the leads? And sales likewise saying, this is what we honestly were able to accomplish. We weren't able to get through as we thought we would, so this is where we are with this. But it's getting it all out where everybody can see it, because that's what partners do. And that's what people who are collaborating together do. So what does marketing need to know to set up their goals? Well, that first one, boy, that's a mouthful right there. Defining what a qualified lead, and I've got SQL and MQL. SQL and MQL means a marketing qualified lead and a sales qualified lead. And simply put, a marketing qualified lead is a beauty contest. Marketing qualified means the lead is within your targeted